Are you struggling to understand the law of cosines and how to use it to solve a triangle? By the end of this video, you'll understand everything you need to know about the law of cosines and the 5 simple steps you need to follow to use it to solve a triangle. Welcome to Understand the Math. We've created free guided notes that you can use as you watch this video and placed a link to them in the video description below. There's space in the notes where you can fill out the answers to the examples that we're going to do because you can't just watch someone do math, you need to do it too. There are 2 different types of triangles that can be solved with the law of cosines: a side-angle-side triangle and a side-side-side triangle. I'll walk through an example of each type. We'll begin with a side-angle-side triangle example. One side of our triangle is equal to 25, the other is equal to 30, and the angle between the 2 sides is equal to 140 degrees. To solve the triangle, we need to find the missing side and the 2 missing angles. I've outlined 5 steps that we can follow to find these quantities. The first step is to assign variables to the given quantities. We'll let our given angle be equal to capital A, and we'll set our 2 sides equal to B and C. We'll then assign variables to the unknown quantities. We'll let our side opposite angle A be little a, our angle opposite side B be capital B, and our angle opposite side C be capital C. Our next step is to find the side opposite the given angle using the law of cosines. The side opposite angle A is little a, so we'll write the law of cosines as a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of our angle A. We want to solve for little a, so we'll write this as a squared, and then we'll put in values for the other quantities on the right-hand side. B is 25, so this is 25 squared, plus c is 30, we'll square that, minus 2 times b, which is 25, times c, which is 30, times cosine of our angle A, which is 140 degrees. This gives us a squared is 625 plus 900 minus 1500 times cosine of 140 degrees. We can now plug that into our calculator, and when we do, we end up with a squared is equal to 2674.07. And make sure your calculator is in degree mode when you calculate the cosine of 140 degrees. We'll now take the square root, and we get that A is equal to 51.71. The fourth step is to find the second angle using the law of sines or the law of cosines. I'm going to choose our second angle to be angle B and find it using the law of sines because it's easier than using the law of cosines. The law of sines tells us that the sine of angle A over side A is equal to the sine of angle B over side B. We want to find angle B, so we'll solve for sine B first. This gives sine B is equal to B times sine of A divided by little a. Let's now plug in values for these variables. B is equal to 25, and then we have sine of A, which is 140 degrees, divided by little a, which we just found in step 3, and that is equal to 51.71. When we plug this into a calculator, we find that sine of B is equal to 0.31077. Our B then is the inverse sine of this number, and this is equal to 18.11 degrees. Our last step is to find angle C, and we can find that because we know that all three angles, when we add them up, is going to equal 180 degrees. So we start by saying A plus B plus C is 180 degrees. We plug in what A is, that's 140 degrees. We plug in our B, 18.11 degrees, and then we have C, and then on the right, we have 180 degrees. This gives us 158.11 degrees plus C is 180 degrees. This tells us that C is 180 degrees minus 158.11 degrees, which is equal to 21.89 degrees. We now have values for the missing side and the two missing angles. If you're finding this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Let's now walk through our second example, which is a side-side-side triangle. Our triangle has lengths given for all three sides. We'll begin by assigning variables to the given quantities. We're going to let A be the longest side, which is 30, so that A is greater than B, and we avoid the ambiguous case when we use the law of sines. We'll let B be equal to 24, and we'll let C be equal to 15. We'll then assign variables to the unknown quantities. These are our angles. Our angle opposite side A we will call A, and then the angle opposite side B is B, and then lastly, our third angle is C. Our next step is to find the angle opposite the longest side using the law of cosines. This is going to be angle A. We'll write the law of cosines as A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. And that's the angle that we need to find. Let's go ahead and let's plug in all the quantities that we know. Little a is 30, and we'll square that. Little b is 24. We'll square that. Little c is 15. That becomes squared. And then we subtract 2 times b, which is 24. Our c is 15. And then we have cosine angle A, which is our unknown angle. On the left-hand side, we have 900. And then 24 squared is 576. 15 squared is 225. And then 2 times 24 times 15 is 720 times cosine A. 900 minus 576 minus 225 is equal to 99. And our right-hand side is minus 720 cosine A. This gives us cosine of A is minus 99 over 720. And that tells us that A is inverse cosine of minus 99 over 720. When we put this into our calculator, we end up with a value of 97.90 degrees. Our fourth step is to find the second angle, which is angle B, and we'll find that using the law of sines. We could also find it using the law of cosines, but again, the law of sines is easier. The law of sines tells us that the sine of angle A over side A is equal to the sine of angle B over side B. We want to find angle B, so we'll first solve for sine B. Sine B is equal to B times sine of A over little a. Let's now plug in these values. Side B is equal to 24, And then we have the sine of angle A. We just found that in step 3, and that was equal to 97.90 degrees. And we divide this by side A, which is 30. This is equal to 0.79241. So B is inverse sine of this value. And this is equal to 52.41 degrees. Our last step is to find our last angle, which is angle C. We'll start by writing down that angle A plus angle B plus angle C is 180 degrees. We'll plug in for A and B. A is 97.90 degrees. B is 52.41 degrees. Plus our unknown angle C is 180 degrees. This gives 150.31 degrees plus C is equal to 180 degrees. When we subtract 150.31 from 180, we get that our angle C is 29.69 degrees. You should now be able to apply these 5 steps to solve any side angle side or any side 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 triangle.
If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.